When trout are stocked into cold water in spring, what actually happens to them once the lake or stream starts warming up? At first, stocked trout seem easy to find. They're visible, concentrated, and often caught quickly. Then, weeks later, anglers start asking the same question everywhere. Where did all the trout go? To answer that, you have to look at what stocked trout experience biologically, because stocking isn't a single event. It's the beginning of a rapid transition. Most spring stockings happen when water is still cold. Cold water means slow metabolism, high oxygen, and relatively low energy demand. For trout, that's a forgiving environment. Many stocked trout at this stage remain close to release areas. Their movement is limited, their digestion is slow, and their feeding behavior is still shaped by hatchery conditions. This is also when some trout get caught. That outcome is expected. Concentration, unfamiliar surroundings, and reduced risk assessment all increase encounter rates. Harvest is one normal pathway for stocked trout early on, but it's only one of several things happening. As spring progresses, water temperature begins to rise, and that's when the biological pressure increases. Trout are cold water fish. As water warms, their metabolism speeds up, digestion accelerates, energy demand rises. Suddenly, staying alive costs more than it did just weeks earlier. But here's the problem. Most stocked trout were raised on pellets. However, natural food, zooplankton, insects, small prey, requires recognition, pursuit, and timing. Feeding efficiency often lags behind metabolic demand. This creates a vulnerable window. Some trout adapt quickly, others don't. At the same time, warming water reshapes habitat. In lakes, trout begin moving toward deeper, cooler layers or cold inflows. In streams, they seek shade, springs, faster oxygenated runs, or deeper pools. This movement is often invisible from shore. From the surface, it looks like trout have disappeared. Biologically, they've resorted. So if some trout are caught early and others move or adapt, what happens to the rest? Several things happen at once. Some trout are lost to predation. Warmer water increases predator activity, and stocked trout are often naive in their first weeks. Others fail to meet rising energy demands and gradually lose condition until they die. A smaller group succeeds. These trout learn to find and eat natural prey, locate thermal refuge, and adjust their movement patterns. Over time, they behave less like stocked fish and more like wild ones, feeding less often, holding better positions, and avoiding unnecessary risk. By early summer, what's left in the system is not a random sample. It's a filtered population. The trout that remain are the ones that 1. Avoided early harvest, 2. Found suitable temperature and oxygen, and 3. Matched feeding ability to metabolism. This is why late-season stocked trout feel different to anglers. They aren't new fish anymore. They're survivors of a biological sorting process. Stocking doesn't guarantee long-term presence. It creates opportunity. Then, biology decides the outcome. In conclusion, stocked trout don't just disappear as water warms. Some are caught. Some are lost. Some adapt.